We got a text earlier from a lady that is overwhelmed. That's the very words she said, is I'm overwhelmed. Help me, guide me through this,
Thing that happens that forces the adult children to step into a situation, typically with parents from a generation that didn't talk about money and didn't talk about death.
Yes.
And because of that, these adult children have no idea what resources are available. They don't know what their parents have. They don't know what their parents' wishes are necessarily, because these are just things that weren't talked about, especially in that generation. I think we're doing a little better now.
Right.
And that's kind of my soapbox, is to get people to plan and to make decisions and to communicate decisions. And I kind of feel like if I could get one more person, one more family to do that, then it was a good day.
Absolutely. I mentioned this on another podcast episode, but my dad and his dad are dealing with this at the moment. And my grandfather doesn't want to talk about this stuff, and it's kind of sensitive to him. And fortunately for him, I this is what I do for a living, right? I deal with this stuff. And of course, the funny part is my dad's coming to me for advice, and then he's relaying that to his dad. And I'm like, look, first of all, this doesn't have to be complicated. Here's my estate attorney locally that I recommend. He's an old friend of mine from college. Call him. His firm will take care of you. We'll get everything straightened out. And my grandfather's like, well, that cost X amount. And I said, well, Granddad, after you die, it's going to cost us the same amount to probate your estate anyways. So
actually, it'll probably cost twice as much.
Right. So just let's figure this out now while you're in good health, while you're of sound mind. But we're noticing him starting to decline. He's 87. I lost my other grandfather this year. He was 93. But my one grandfather's 87 and he's starting to decline. We're starting to kind of notice a physical decline. He's always been a spring chicken his whole life, right? And I think his yard, taking care of his yard is what keeps him young and alive, gives him something to do, And they're like, oh, well, we need to move him into it. I'm like, no, that's his sanctuary. Don't take him out of his yard. That's his place, Until he can't take care of it at all, don't take him away from that, So, yeah, I get that 100%. You know what's funny is you mentioned the word overwhelmed here. We got a text earlier from a lady that is overwhelmed. That's the very words she said, is I'm overwhelmed. Help me, guide me through this,